Hello friends, this is Coldrun. Welcome back to Final Fantasy Record Keeper, where there's two things I want to do today, which are outside the record dungeons. First is I want to do the Cloud Sensei battle training because I have opened the Veterans Hall. And second is I want to try the, what's it called? The Crystal Dungeons, the Crystarium Dungeons, the Magicite. There's some kind of dungeon that opened up that apparently is story-based that I want to try. But first we'll try Veterans Hall. Biggs, hey! Yikes, what do you think you're doing, Biggs? That's what you get for dashing around like an idiot. I'll show you an idiot, Biggs. I like the gender swap Wedge. Is this the first time Wedge has been a woman? Elarra, eek. Sorry, Elarra. Are you okay? There's also one more thing I'm going to do, which this reminds me of. I want to change Coldrun's name. Are you okay? Don't worry, Coldrun. I should have gotten out of the way. So they were roughhousing, and a kid got in the way. Kupo, what's going on here? Dr. Mog, we're practicing for battle, but we just can't seem to coordinate our attacks. Well, Jimmy, why see, Kupo? I know you're working hard to be ready for the Labyrinth Dungeons. I couldn't care less about the Labyrinth Dungeons. But you may be going about this the wrong way, Kupo. What should we do? We need to make some headway. At times like this, I think it's best to go back to the basics, Kupo. You mean... Exactly. If it's instruction you seek, there's no better teacher, Kupo. Here we go. But first, let me see if I can change my name. So I think I should be Tyro now, but we'll see. Okay, we're starting with... Ooh! These reward you with 3... What do you call it? 3 star, 3 memory crystal, tier 3, something like that. Okay. Cloud Sensei. Next, I'll cover what to do when you get hit with debuffs. Simply raise the same combination of stats that the debuff lowered. When your attack is lowered, just raise the attack back up. When both your attack and magic are lowered, raise attack and magic back up. Say you raise attack and magic when hit by a debuff that only lowers attack. Although this buffs your attack and magic, the attack debuff remains. Interesting. I did not know this. On the other hand, if you attack, if you raise your attack... Okay, so the only way to remove it, aside from, like, Asuna or something, the only way to remove it through the countermeasures is specifically by putting the opposite buffs on, the same combination of opposite buffs. That's really good to know. So the debuff count, so the soul break we're being given here raises the attack and magic of all allies, attack, magic, defense, and resistance. Okay, so Final Fantasy VI related. Actually, you know what? Fine, let's go with the Final Fantasy VI party. When hit by a debuff, don't sweat it. Just buff those stats back up again. Give this roaming warrior soul break a shot. Alright, so they full broke on me. And so we're going to use that break, or use that soul break. Okay, that's adorable. That's incredibly adorable. That specific trio of characters. Nice job. And so it removes it. Okay. And now I guess I just have to do the rest of the fight. I love that they got that moment of Final Fantasy VI for the Celeste soul break. The moment where she... That moment where she's coming out of the water, where she just wakes up from the water. It's so brief. Don't forget to buff the scene. Yeah. That moment where she comes out of the water after having just jumped off the cliff, but survives and sees the bird with Locke's bandana. Oh, God, one of my favorite... That whole section, that transition, the very start of the World of Ruin is just fantastic. So it looks like I cannot do the next one. I just did emergency healing, just about how to respond to attacks like Gravity and Gravagia, just to not heal before they hit you. So, yeah, I got that, but I have to do, yeah, a Magicite Dungeon. So, I guess we're going to the next part of this video, which is the other thing. It's not Magicite Dungeon. Yes, it is Magicite Dungeons, because Crystal Dungeons comes later, right? Yeah, Crystal Dungeons comes after Magicite. So we're going into Nightmare and Magicite, and we're clicking on this thing. Oh dear, what happened in the Nightmare, Kupo? The magic is so strong. Yeah, now I'm Tyro, good. Hey, what's that crystal in the center? Seems to be some kind of memory crystal, Kupo. Never seen one that shape, though. Fascinating, we must investigate, Kupo. Ah! Look, Dr. Mog, a girl! This is her intro. Aha. Just floating there, Kupo. Are you alright? Careful, don't get cooties on you. She's unconscious, Kupo. So it seems. Who could this be? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Wait, what's that voice? Elarra? Your name's Elarra? What are you talking about, Tyro? Oh, no, it's Dr. Mog. What are you talking about, Tyro? Do you hear something, Kupo? You don't hear it, Dr. Mog? I think she's talking to me somehow. Okay. So she starts communicating specifically with Tyro. Apparently, something called Magicite is sealed inside the crystal. No wonder she felt some connection to Terra. Also, I like the music. It's not great, but it's like got some drama to it. Magicite, Kupo. I've seen that mentioned before. Believed to hold the records of powerful creatures and great weapons. The Magicite record is unstable. Oh no, I have to do something. Tyro went into the memory crystal, Kupo. Wait, Tyro, I'm coming too, Kupo. Kupo, I'm floating? So we're inside the crystal. We're always inside a crystal, and this is Final Fantasy, but we're inside specifically the memory crystal, or the Magicite crystal? Or the portal to the Magicite crystal dungeon? I didn't quite catch that. Dr. Mog. Such a vast expanse. What is this place, Kupo? I sense strange magic in the air. It's like I could reach out and touch it, but it feels far away. We'll just need to explore thoroughly. Oh, just a second, Kupo. What is it, Dr. Mog? Doesn't look like synergies or roaming warriors will work in here, Kupo. It's like they're mixing diegetic and non-diegetic. Huh? That'll sure make things trickier. I hear Elarra's voice. Really? She says she'll do whatever she can to help Dr. Mog. That's reassuring, Kupo. Thank you, Elarra. But this place won't be easy to navigate, Kupo. Be very careful. Okay. Alright, so we're checking out the Magicite Dawn. Man, Elarra looks like a badass kid there. A cape flowing behind her. These dungeons lie deep within the Nightmare and contain extremely deadly foes. I don't know what the Nightmare is. I know there were Nightmare dungeons, but I don't remember what the story behind what they were is. Complete Book of Trials 4, Master at 220, difficult. Okay, so we can get into it. According to Elarra, the Magicites sealed away inside the dungeons have grown unstable, and there's no time to lose bringing them under control. Okay, so this is a place where Magicite were stored, and the Magicite are getting unstable, so we have to set them to right. Okay. And Elarra, we call on Elarra in this case to aid us. All enemies have enhanced resistance to break debuffs. Boo. Here's a question. If let's say I use full break on an enemy and it hits, it does damage and it says resist. Should I keep using full break? Like, will it do a little bit more the next time and a little bit more the next time? Or is it, once it's up, it's up? Anyway, let's see what Magicite Dungeons are. This will probably be a short video just because I don't want to start the next record dungeons while here in this session. Magicite. So the different elements. I don't know. Fire. Get fire magicite. Obtainable magicite. Bomb Igion. I don't remember who Igion is. Get Arcana. This... So, two things about the game style that have just hit me while playing. Have just been... hit me while playing. One, the game is surprisingly, at this stage in its life cycle at least, has been surprisingly easy to play without feeling any pressure to pay. Like, just there's at least at this point, playing it as a starter experience, it's been no problem to just progress through the stuff without being remotely tempted to spend money, or like, I haven't felt like I hit a wall yet by any stretch of the imagination. Even with the whole stamina thing, like I haven't tried to get stamina potions, and I haven't felt the need to really play beyond my stamina limit, but like even when I do, like if I just want to do a bunch of XP dungeons, like I have like 35 or 40 stamina rewards just for stamina potions just from playing the game, so stamina just has not been a factor in my gameplay, which is really nice. I was afraid it was going to be like one of those games where it's like you play 5 minutes and then you have to pay 7 platinum fantasy finals coins like to advance. And that brings me to the second part. Get Arcana, but like I have such a hard time keeping all the various like things in this game straight. The Arcana and the rat's tails and the Magicite and the adamantite versus scarletite, just a lot. It seems like maybe this is just, it's super complicated and it feels overwhelming in a way that's not pleasant. I don't like that. Anyway, let's check out what this is while we're here. Oh, okay. Liquid Flame Record. Okay. Tap and hold a Magicite icon to see detailed info. A Magicite icon. Is this a Magicite icon? No, I guess not. Oh, okay. Igion from 8. Magma Breath, charge rate, no clue what this stuff is. No, charge... Is this like a soul break that you get? I don't know. Anyway. I don't think it's going to be a worry. Just because I don't think I'm going to defeat this. But, so this is... Oh, right. So, the fire stuff, everything with fire is weak to water, right? Not ice, water. Enemy uses strong fire attacks. Attacks that paralyze, sap, and lower fire resistance. Human form, hand form, and tornado form. Each time it takes damage a certain number of times. So so it could be like if it takes 1 damage 3 times versus 10,000 damage 3 times, like it's just about the amount of times it takes damage. I wonder if that counts things like if you use a quad strike, is that 4 damages or 1 because you did 1 ability, or is it 4 because you hit it 4 times? Savage Frog, it ignores resistance, so we'd want to lower its magic with like Magic Break. Human form, the enemy can counter with Blaze. Hand form, it counters with Farah. I don't know what are those abilities. Not sure. I know what Farah is, but I don't know what the difference between... I guess Blaze is probably an AoE thing. So it always takes water whenever. So water is the key. And it's always... Okay. Okay, gotcha. I'll try putting a party together, but... Oh, it gives you successful party examples. That's neat. Okay. So I'm ready to try this, but I'd like to use this as an opportunity to learn what I'm doing wrong. I haven't tried this fight, so maybe I'll just wipe the floor with it. That seems unlikely. So, I'm using Waka, Strago, Bartz, Rosa, and Quina. So, the reason I went with Rosa has that... Rosa is my healer that has that Soul Break, that Divine Shelter. I like the Soul Breaks I have on Rosa. So she has Divine Shelter for instant, Protect, Shell, and Haste. Divine Guard if I need to do that Magic Barrier and Haste in the middle of the fight. Or just, I don't know if I... Not really, I don't really use that. But Holy Ray is nice as a kind of a rechargeable way to just keep giving the party life. And Divine Shelter early. Abilities, Re-Raise and Ultra Cure. Ultra Cure, I don't know if I'm gonna get status debuffs. If I'm not, maybe I might. I never know if to go for Re-Raise or Rise or anything like that, so I don't know, we'll see. But Strago, I went with Meltdown and Chain Waterga. Just seems reasonable. I went with Strago specifically because he has all the water things. Awaken Lore, Apex Lore, Awoken Lore, Apex Lore, Tsunami. This is probably the best set of Soul Breaks I have. I'm never sure like which to use among these. I mean, I think the dual one seems amazing. Awaken Lore seems the best of them that I've seen to use early on, at least. Yeah, it just Awaken Lore seems ridiculous. To like make Chain Water God go off like 3 times with a follow-up. I don't know what Meltdown seems almost like a waste. Actually, I don't know what to put in its place though. Like I don't know what else he'd have that I should use. I don't think I could slow this thing. I really don't. I don't know what else to. I guess Curays. Let's go with Curays instead in case he needs to Curays stuff. I don't know. Waka, Icicle Shot, and Waka has Apex Aurochs, which is another of those Arcane Dyad ones. For, again, just decent water damage, I guess. And what else? Oh, yeah, and Quina. Quina I like for Angelic White Wind, which is just Regenga on everyone for no Soul Break usage. And for Angel's Banquet for AoE, an AoE barrier for a little bit of a heal, and mostly for AoE Asuna, which is on kind of no limit to that, which is very nice. Okay, so that's the gist of it. Yeah, I don't know what else I'm... Oh yeah, the materia. I went with... So for Waka and Strago, I gave them the materia that lets them start with 2 extra Soul Break charges. 2 Soul Break charges. For Bartz and Rosa, the ones that make abilities and attacks do much more, charge the Soul Break gauge much more. And for Quina, the Soul Break is less important to charge up. Like, I haven't found that to be an issue, so I just do more damage with support, much more damage with support abilities. Yeah, so that's what I got for them as far as key stuff. And for Magicite, I have Enki 13, which is just the water one they initially gave me. Which seems good for this thing. It gives me, just lowers... Oh, it doesn't lower water resistance. It raises water attacks. Gives like a fire resistance, which seems like it'll be useful here. Yeah, I'm still not quite sure how these things work, but they seem good. All right, let's try this out. Bobble a Guardian, raise defense and resistance, or do a water chain. What does this one do? Water chain that increases... Let's just do increased defense and resistance. Yeah, we'll start with that. I feel like it's a safer starting bet before I know what I'm getting into. It looks cool. Is there any reason to not turn on Overdrive? 3, 4, and 5 remain in effect after heroes are revived. Why would I not turn on Overdrive? Is there like is it for like the challenge mode? I know sometimes, I don't know what goes into it, but I know sometimes you like have to pay for it, have to pay mithril, and I haven't done that, but like, I don't know why when it gives you the option to do it, why you, I thought it would be a penalty if you don't do it, but there's no penalty that I've seen. All right, so how are we going to do this? We're going to start with armor. Do we start with armor breakdown or dyad? Let's start with dyad. We'll start, because I think dyad lets all the other stuff charge it up, right? Same thing here. We'll start with the dyad. I don't remember the difference between awaken or dyad or whatever those are. But yeah, we'll do all the things. All the dyads. Because that just makes whatever comes later charge it up. We'll start with Divine Shelter. And Quina, they will start with, I guess, Magic Breakdown. Okay, not too much there. So now we're gonna do Armor Breakdown. And now Mental Breakdown. Or Mental Break, rather. Let's re-raise on yourself first on the two let's re-raise on Strago first. Because Strago will be able to use a rise. Okay. Good. Let's do full break this time. And now we'll do Chain Water Ga. Because this is like, this will hit like 1,000,000 times, right? Or 3. And so I want to hold off on doing the Apex Aurochs reels until I've built up a bunch of damage, right? I want to do that as like a finisher almost. So let's do Icicle Shot a bunch. And same thing with this one. I can't even do Master of Water, but if I could, I wouldn't want to. I'd want to do a bunch of Snow Spell strikes in this case. Oh, that does ice, not water. I thought I had to set up a water ability. Okay, I might need to redo this. Sorry, that's embarrassing. Not that embarrassing, but a little embarrassing. Yeah, oh, that's all ice. That's not water. That's... All right, let me come back into this. Sorry. All right, we're back where we kind of were last time. So all my dyads are set up, or my awakens are set up. Getting the debuffs down, but this time instead of ice abilities, I have water abilities ready to go. On Bartz and Waka. Let's do Magic Breakdown. Chain Water Ga. And Sapphire Shot this time. That should actually be useful instead of do literally nothing. Yeah, that actually does not much, but does a little bit. I don't know how to do more than that. I don't want to hold... Yeah, Strago is just a... Look at Strago go! Holy... Go, Strago, go! Strago's like soloing this fight. Let's do a... No, we want to save up Blitz Cut. Does Last Blitz... Last Blitz will erase the Apex Aurochs reel, won't it? Or should I use other limit breaks in tandem with it? It didn't... Sapphire Shot didn't do that much. Let's try what... Let's see what, Last Blitz does. I worry that Last Blitz will override Apex Aurochs reel, but maybe it won't. Let's try Last Blitz. Same with Aqueous Bond. Like, am I supposed to use... If I use Aqueous Bond, will that stop Master of Water from being accessible? Will it, like, trigger something else? I don't know. On the other hand, like, it could either stop it and I shouldn't be doing it, or maybe it exponentially, like, boosts everything. So maybe I should be doing it. I don't think it'll matter in this case, because this actually doesn't seem like it's going to be that tough a fight, this first one. Yeah, let's use you. Nice kick. But it doesn't even matter, because Strago is just going off. It's just a beast. Savage for Raga is pretty nasty. So this is where I'd want to use Holy Ray, I think, just to get some safety going. No, so Apex Aurochs Reels is still there, so I can kind of like nest limit breaks within limit breaks, can't I? Just for style points, I'm going to do the dual shift thing. Yeah, and let's see what happens now. Ah, Strago. One of the best grandpas in the series, right up... I think Galuf has still beat Strago, like, and it's not that close, but Strago's pretty good too. Okay, so that actually wasn't as bad as I was expecting it would be. Or maybe my party is better than I feared it would be? Mom Bomb. Liquid Flame. Wait, so we can use Liquid Flame now? I don't quite know what we just got. Malorus record. Malorus? Like Marilith or Fire Crystal? This is what I'm talking about. I'm being showered with shit. I have no idea what it does, or I can figure it out. It's just it feels like I'm just getting constantly swarmed with new items and currencies. They're actually going to teach me about Magicite at least, which is good. Creature we defeated turned to Magicite. Kupo, so many unanswered questions, but I think we should leave for now. Okay. Elarra, thank you both. Are you unharmed? Oh, I can hear Elarra's voice now, Kupo. Quelling the volatile Magicite may have granted you power. Elarra gains a new power. Fabula Raider. Temporarily raise the attack and magic of all allies a moderate amount and grant them haste. Okay. Oh, but there's something to use in here. It's about time I introduced us then. I'm Tyro, and this is Dr. Mog. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Kupo. Who are you, if you don't mind me asking? I wish I could tell you, but I'm afraid I cannot remember. You've lost your memory? Don't worry, Elarra. I'm sure it'll all come back to you. Indeed. Thank you. So you don't know what made the Magicite unstable, Kupo? No. When I woke, the Magicite was already out of control. Is she... Here's my initial guess. I think she's like an embodiment of the dungeon's power. I think she's like, I don't know what you call it, like a manifestation of the will of the Magicite Dungeons or something like that. That's my guess. Kupo, we should look into the cause of this just to be safe. Sid, good to see you. What's up? Hey, Sid. Actually... I see. So you got the Magicite after stabilizing. Ah, they are... You know what? They are tutorializing me here, so I jumped the gun on that. I still feel like I have way more currencies and stuff than I understand. Or than I'm comfortable with. I don't know. It feels like things have gotten super bloated. And because it's a pay-to-win game, because you can just buy stuff, like, it probably is really tough for them to change systems because you'd be taking away things people paid money for. So it's probably hard for them to pare down as time goes on. Anyway, it's imbued with powerful magic, but it has even more untapped potential. I'll unlock its latent powers for you. Thank you, Almaron, by the way, for putting in my head that Sid is Grumpy Cat. Be sure to bring me any other Magicite you find. Okay, thanks. Unleashing the Esper Within. Magicite fills as the battle progresses. Okay. When the gauge is full, you can use the Magicite to unleash its power. Unleash the Esper Within. Uses Magicite skills while active. Bonus 1 Magicite effects. Begin battle with boosts to your party's stats. Okay. So it just gives us more stats to start with. Okay. Bonus 2 Magicite skills. While the Esper within Magicite is active, so after you've clicked it, and once it's like faces there and the thing is circling around it, it uses a variety of skills to attack enemies and allies. So those are like random things it can use that don't seem very good. Maybe they get better as you level them up. And then bonus 3 Magicite Ultra skill. Unleash a powerful skill each time a Magicite is activated in battle. Okay. So equip 1, so you can use their skills. Equip 2, Sub-Magicite, you get some, like, small effects. Try some different Magicite combinations for different effects. Okay. I see. Oh, and this is probably the intro of the Shadowsmith. Gotcha. A mysterious girl who appeared out of nowhere, a vast unexplored space within a memory crystal, and a Magicite record running wild. Intriguing. Don't tell. I'm telling you this because we need your help. Don't expect me to make a habit out of it. There's Magicite involved, so it falls under your jurisdiction. So Shadowsmith is the Magicite guy. I apologize for putting you in this position. Your candor is appreciated. So you'll act? Yes, the wheels of fate are turning. This is really tying into the story mode. It really is. This is part of the story mode, apparently. When we quell a Magicite record, another becomes unstable right away, Kupo. What's going on? How do we stop the Magicite raging out of control, Kupo? Sounds like you're in a bind. Who are you? I recognize that uniform. Dr. Mog, Tyro, Elarra, I am honored to meet you all. Came to investigate at Cid's request. I am the Shadowsmith of the Royal Arcanium. I thought as much, Kupo. What were you thinking, Cid? Isn't he on your team, though, because you're part of the Royal Arcanium? We don't need any help from the Royal Arcanium, Kupo. You know what they did, Cid. Oh, crap. The plot really is thickening. With the Magicite running amok, we have no choice. It's the Royal Arcanium's domain, after all. That memory crystal, it contains what you might call a Magicite record realm. We've been monitoring the phenomena occurring within the Royal Arcanium, at the Royal Arcanium too. Even without Cid's invitation, I would have come to survey the situation sooner or later. We also seek to stabilize the Magicite, Dr. Mog. I don't trust you one bit after what the Royal Arcanium did to the Moogles, Kupo. So the Royal Arcanium is a separate from the Keepers faction. I don't remember. I honestly thought they were the Royal Arcanium before this. So the Royal Arcanium is separate from they're like separate powers or academies or something. And some experiment gone wrong by the Royal Arcanium blew up Moogle Island or something like that. Moogle Island is the next thing we're going to. Boy, I'm glad we did this before the second island, before we went to the third island. Or fourth island? Third island, I think. You have every right to be angry. The Royal Arcanium committed an unconscionable act. The world now faces a grave threat. Are you suggesting the lost painting records and the unstable Magicite records are linked, Kupo? I believe that fate binds all this together. Fine, Kupo, but if you insist, I'll leave the Magicite in your hands. A wise decision. This is really moving. I really didn't think it was... I thought we were going to get a little bit of plot and then, like, it would just be grinding. But no, this is legit story mode. So this is where the Magicite is sealed away. I sense a source of great magical power. Time to investigate. I guess he just investigated? Magicite's running wild. Oh no, this is where he's hearing Elarra. Maybe he's hearing Elarra or he's hearing someone else. I see, so the instability is indeed spreading through the Magicite records. Are you ready, Tyro? Okay. Okay, indeed. What's the power... Inheritance stones? Oh my god. another thing. Does this need to be this complicated? I guess it does. Apparently it does. Exchange Magicite shards for inheritance stones at Kite's treasure trove. It's like every good thing the game does, every interesting things, it has to, like, obfuscate, like, it obfuscated by piling crap on top. Get Magicite shards as rewards in Magicite Dungeons. Trade inheritance stones, okay. Inherit Magicite effects to upgrade your Magicite. Sure. I'm kind of glazing over. Look, good lord, this is your tutorial. There's got to be a better way to introduce these than this. Like, if you want to introduce a lot of systems, fine, but don't throw this at... There's got to be... You got to do better. There's... Just didactically, this feels like a terrible way to introduce this. Use the... Why not use, a Cloud Sensei thing every time we get one of these? Like, this would be a... Do a Cloud Sensei thing instead of this. Or as a supplement to this. I'll look at that later. I'm kind of glazing over with it right now, frankly. I wonder how far this goes up. Is it just these 5? Maybe it's just these 5. 250, 300. Okay. All right. We're going to call it for here. I guess here's a question. Let me know if I should record future versions. Is this like all the story we're going to get from the Magicite, or should I record the other Magicite attempts? Like, if there, well, I guess, should I do more Magicite Dungeons while recording? Like, is it reasonable to expect more story stuff will pop up as I go through? Probably. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later. Okay. Oh God. Okay. Sure. Okay. Bye-bye.